Hello and welcome to another episode of the Scarf Bagara War. For county fans, by county fans. I'm delighted to be joined by Waggy once again. You okay, mate? You ready for your rant?
Yeah, very good. Pardon?
Are you ready for a rant later?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll get warmed up first. Get warmed up. We don't want to jump in straight into that, do we?
No, we do not. We do not. Good evening to everybody who's joining us live. All the usual names again are on there. Phil Lloyd, Nick 10, Ian Dowden, County 83, Jamie Willis, and I'm sure there'll be lots of others. I do like the way that Jamie Willis has put evening all. He does that a lot. And that's in relation to who, Waggy? Do you know who that's in relation to?
No.
Unai Emery.
Unai Emery. Oh, okay.
Unai Emery, yeah, because he says evening. It doesn't say evening. It must be the Spanish. Can't pronounce a V, perhaps.
He always reminds me of the Count of Sesame Street. Whenever I see him on the telly, I always go, one,
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Okay, good stuff. Right, let's tell you what we've got on. So we're going to talk about the Salford game tomorrow. We've got guest Will Moorcroft, who's the media man, head of media exec at Salford City. So we'll get him out very shortly. We're going to be talking to Jimmy Hamer, our fan guest of the week. He's going to join us for the full duration of the podcast, as we normally do. We're going to talk about the Newport win on Saturday. Look at the Irish. Paddy's week this week as well. It's all falling into place in it. And then we're going to talk about the new developments that have come out of the club today around Edley Park. Kind of leaked last night, but came out today. So looking forward to that. And we'll probably do getting reses. So yeah, in fact, I've just thought about getting the reses. There you go. I just literally thought about one. How about that? That's pretty good, isn't it? So without further ado, we will get our fan guest, Jimmy Hamer, out.
Running Armstrong, played in the game. And a superb goal. And it's Connolly who scored it.
Good
Hey,
stuff.
boys.
Welcome, Jimmy. You all right?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So as we do with all fans, or we try to, if I don't forget, that is. What's your first game? Can you remember?
It was 91, 92. So I was born in 78. I was about 13. I cannot remember the first game. I've even looked back at all the matches thinking, was it that? Was it that? So I really can't remember. But Danny Bagara, Precy, Francis, that was my era when I first started supporting the boys.
Nice. Good era. Good era.
Yeah.
Glory Hunter then. Can help.
Exactly. I was definitely a glory hunter. Yeah. In fact, I was watching, I had a mate who was an Altrincham fan. I probably watched about 30 or 40 Altrincham games before I got into county.
Right.
So I could have been an Alty fan if things had been slightly different.
Cool. Do you ever go back?
So the shiny lights.
The last time I was back was the pre-season when Nick Powell played. Was it his debut? Thinking pre-season this season. Did we beat him 4-1 or something?
Right. So you don't live in Stockport?
I do live in Bramall. Yeah. I live in Stockport.
Right, okay.
But I had a mate who lived in Altrincham, so
right, got you.
I just went with him.
Okay, fair enough. We'll cover all that later. How about that? Yeah. Good stuff. So you, as I said before in the intro, you just stick around, get involved in the chat.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about everything county, and we'll come to you later. Okay. Without further ado, let's get our opposition guest on. He's been on many times before, and I actually feel a bit sorry now that we played that intro video, because that was when we beat Salford in the semi-final of the playoffs. So it's not really good timing for me. That so apologies in advance. Everybody, welcome Will Moorcroft. And then I just played the audio of the goal again by accident. I do apologise. Honestly, I'm not that clever.
Those days.
How you doing, mate? You okay?
What a day. Yeah, definitely been better at this point in March.
What's happened today that makes it what a day from your perspective?
No, just thinking back to that day in May, to be fair.
Oh, that day. Right, just, what a day that was.
5 minutes ago, thinking, what a goal, we scored to you put one away, and then that shoots out. So that was, I think, the epitome of a roller coaster emotions that day. But memorable, both sides memorable. I still stand by this. It's a shame that wasn't the final.
Yeah, especially how Carlisle went up and they're doing the best to be the shittest team in the world, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah, waste of a promotion.
Yeah,
waste of a promotion. Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the game tomorrow then. Salford against County. I think it was a long time ago now, but I think you got a decent draw from your perspective at our place earlier in the season. You're down in 20th. What's happened? Because you were again, as you always are, one of the favourites to be up there near the top. What's gone on?
I mean, it's put the on. I think the first half of the season, it's probably fair to say we got sussed out. Academy football, pass around the back, and what we're doing with it. Very, very little surprise that when we start using Matt Smith, start scoring goals, league's joint top goal scorer. Should you be saying that 20th? Well, I don't know. There's something wrong, something not quite going right for us, and it's just been one of them. I like to look at it quite holistically, in real terms. Over the last 10 years, this is the first real season that we can say we've had a bad season. I think a lot of other clubs will take that. One bad season in 10. It's just one of them. We've got to stick it out, hopefully stay up, and then go again next season. Fresh ideas, new philosophy, and just a bit more direct, really.
Do you think there's a real danger of you going down? I mean, you are on 40 points, aren't you? So,
yeah, before Tuesday, I was thinking that is maybe enough of a barrier, but Grimsby, Forest Green both starting to get a result in there. I feel like we could do with another maybe 3 or 4 wins from the last 9 games, and that should then get us I believe 46, 47 points. Might just be enough, but we definitely can't until even better gets 50. But I don't think anyone can rest on the laurels just yet, because teams are still fighting for their lives as well, picking up points here and there. So, I think until we're a bit further safe, we can't look back. Grimsby have had care of dropping, and now they've picked up a few points recently, and obviously Forest Green changing. So I think just 3 or 4 wins on the board, just get it done, and then we can look to the summer and look to going again.
I mean, just looking at your results, you're a bit not kamikaze, Jekyll and Hyde, I'd probably say, because you beat some good teams, haven't you? You beat Crewe away, then Wrexham and home over the end of January, early Feb. Beat Barrow 5-3 at home. So are you going into this game against us thinking pretty much anything could happen?
I think there's what Carl's bought is quite a traditionalist view in the will outscore you. I think they recognise that we're maybe not the strongest at the back, and we're going to concede goals. We've actually got the worst defence in the league going into this game week. So obviously, what's happened Tuesday is what happens, and I can't be bad, but I can't remember a period as well where I've sat and watched a game and thought so many times, how's that happened? Like, how's that gone in, or where's that come from? It's just a real freak season. I think when you rely on someone like Smudger as much as we have done or have needed to do, again, that shows why we maybe had a bit of a bounce, because he was just running teams riot, and now people double up on him. He doesn't get as many fouls as maybe he should do against him, for the shirt pulling and the shirt tugs. But I think that's down to us. We need to find another way, and maybe we've not been diverse enough. Maybe we've not got enough of the right attacking options this year. It's just one of those, when we concede one, heads can start to go down just because of the way we started. And before it concede 2 or 3, or when that fluke one goes against you and gets everyone down. And it's just been the story of the season, really. Just an enigma.
Yeah, we've got our own issues with Wootton not being able to buy a free kick. So I can feel your pain when it comes to Matt Smith. We have got a question here, and I will ask it because I think it's relevant. What's a Salford pitch like? Because we've heard a lot about Bradford and we've heard a lot about Colchester, and obviously we had not concerns, but the pitch was wet when we played you last season away in that 2-1 win. People don't want to spend $11.99 on an Now TV pass if it's off. Yeah, what's the pitch like?
It's holding. It'll be fine. Obviously, it's been raining all day today. I left the ground about 5:30 this afternoon. There wasn't any standing water. There wasn't any danger. It does look nice. I'll be honest and say it doesn't look nice. There's certainly not going to be great football played on it, and there's going to be a few bubbles here and there. But yeah, the game will be on. I've not, barring God's intervention, I don't think there'll be too much doubt about that. I've been caught in that before. Gateshead a few years ago. Pitch looked absolutely fine, and then we got a downpour about an hour and a half before kickoff. Absolutely flooded it. But yeah, based on forecast, it should be fine.
Yeah, cool. Okay, good. I think we're forecast rain tomorrow as well, aren't we? So, yeah.
We've got the pitchforks and boots ready.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. It's more than you've got a groundsman then. That's more can be said for Colchester.
Yeah, and if I can just say on record as well, Richard, who's I think this is his second season with us now, is absolutely top draw. We have got architectural and fundamental issues on the ground, but the job that he does is absolutely outstanding. So credit and kudos to him.
Yeah, is that because you've obviously got the ground that you were on since forever, haven't you? You've not moved actual location. You just built around it and kept the same infrastructure in terms of the pitch.
Yeah. So, for those who maybe don't know, where our ground is in Salford is really high up. So naturally, it's got great drainage. Pre doing any building at the ground, it was one of the best draining pitches probably in the area. Barely ever had a game called off, even for heavy rain or anything like that. And then they built the stadium, put all the foundations around it, didn't put the right drains in. And so, when you do get bad weather, it's just one of those things. It wasn't particularly well thought through. And unfortunately, it's not until everything's built and on the surface looking good that you realise actually you've taken away what was good about it. So, just one of those. They didn't get it quite right when it was built, so we're just having to backtrack a little bit and do what we can, get the correct drains in that we can, and work around with what we've got really.
Yeah. Okay. Before we go on to the players and the actual match tomorrow, then I saw that Giggs have been made director of football today, I think, and you are now looking for outside investment. And talk us a bit around that, because that wouldn't say it was a shock that you're asking for outside investment, but I didn't think it'd be this early in the journey for you, because I thought you'd be going up another level at least before that started to be quite mooted. Yeah.
So I mean, the Ryan thing, it's just something that we didn't announce as a club. It's been most of the season. It's been working in that capacity. It's just something that, I'll be honest, we didn't feel we needed to make too much of a fanfare about or shout about too much for exactly this reason, that it just gets blown massively out of proportion for what it is really. As for the investment stuff, I think most clubs are always looking for additional investment. There's a massive demand at the minute for people to buy clubs in England. There is, and you'd be silly not to be in that market really. We're obviously in this position where it's hard for us to find land for a stadium if we were ever to move, or even for a training ground at the minute. Obviously, we lost out on Carrington to you guys. So it's just all those things that, on top of your normal running costs, there's long-term infrastructure projects that, there'll be assistance that they need with. And, I know obviously it's easy to say, yeah, you've got Peter Lim, Singaporean billionaire and everything, which he is, but he's not going to spend every single penny. He's got his plus what he's going to commit, and, others will be the same. So it's something that we wanted to take control of, just in terms of not letting things get out there and people start worrying, you know, the Class 92 aren't going anywhere, they remain fully committed, but picking the right person to help. And when we talk about investment as well, it's not just about financial investment, it's about when you bring the right partner, what connections have they got? You know, you're talking about somebody, a technology developer, and you know they can help with that side of things. You know, that there's so many commercial media strands and everything. You know, it means more than just in the club as well, and that's why it's so important to find what everyone calls the right partners to open up those sorts of avenues. Yeah,
and you've definitely got the kudos, haven't you? The right people who can attract those said partners. In obviously the Class of '92. Someone has asked, I can't see it now, but does David Beckham get involved much? I guess not.
I'll be honest, I've only ever seen him twice, and that was when he came to a game at the ground, February 2019, I think it was. And then obviously at Wembley for the promotion final. Don't know how the board level he is in day to day. You know, are they there calling him, sending him clips of a player we're signing? I'm not sure, but you know, that to that. We work very closely with Nicky, and we work closely with Ryan. Paul's very hands-on. You know, they're brilliant to work with. You know, can't call enough of them.
He's probably too busy whining and dining Messi and Suarez, isn't he? In America.
or Messrs. McElhenney and Reynolds.
Oh, don't. The klaxons will be going off in North Wales, Will. Klaxons will be going off in North Wales. we'll be accused of having some sort of Wrexham fetish. Right, on to the game tomorrow then.
Anybody wants.
No, definitely not. We've got a question about Wrexham as well. I'm not going to ask it, Mark Morley. But Mark Morley asked, how do you feel now that Wrexham have taken over as the media darlings? Lol. No, we're not going to ask that because it's pretty much shot tomorrow. Right, so on to the players then. So Matt Smith clearly sticks out as the guy to watch. 23 goals. It looks like 1 assist as well, which we'll definitely mention. And he's your highest FOTMob rating. We got a FOTMob on this show, Will. I don't know if you're aware of that. So I mean, it feels like obviously we took Toure, Barry, and Odin Bailey. Has that left any hole in your squad? Have you recruited in good areas and in those same areas and recruited just as well, and it's just not worked, or who are we looking at for tomorrow beyond Matt Smith? I guess is the question.
I mean, I think Louis been a massive miss in terms of he was someone we were really looking forward to working with again this season. Obviously, he felt Stockport, and justifiably, when you look at us now, was the better option for him. Like I was saying before, I feel we've maybe just been a bit restricted in terms of what our attacks look like. When you look at what we had back in last year with Bolts on one wing, Louis on the other, whoever playing through the middle, whether that's 1 or 2, you know, you hard stop. Whereas now it does feel a little bit more limited where that quite sits in terms of, was it the right route, was it a different plan? I think everyone's probably got their own thoughts on that from a Salford point of view. So ones to watch tomorrow. I mean, Elliott's in the middle. Is Elliott Watt? You know, he's still one of the best central midfielders in the league. His range of passing, his set pieces are unbelievable. His work rate is absolutely second to none. Weirdly, for the amount of goals we concede as well. Tilty and Theo, they've been much better in the last 10 games. You know, Tilty's probably up there as player of the season for me so far, or certainly in contention for it. So, you know, he's not to be messed with. You know, they do know how to put challenge in, how to be robust at the back. Obviously, you know, Smudge is just an absolute animal up front, and he's got one goal to his name as well, which he won't like us mentioning, but he rates highly on FOTMob just sheerly because the amount of aerial duels he wins. Not necessarily higher at the pitch. They're quite often at the back from set pieces, but they're aerial duels and he wins them. And you know that's why he's probably had so many team of the week inclusions, because that's what it's based off. So yeah.
Yeah, just looking at some of the stats further down. So obviously, goal scoring is Matt Smith. Clearly, you've mentioned Elliot Watt. He's created the most chances for you, and then, like you say, at the back, Curtis Tilt, Theo Vassell, all scoring high in certain areas, and Kelly and Mai as well. Is he one to look out for in terms of sort of duels and tackling and getting the ball back out off us in our final third?
Yeah, I mean to be fair, if there is anything that you can look back this season and think that's been really good for us, is the way that Kelly and Junior Luamba as well have come through this season. You know, they've obviously had a chance out of adversity, I suppose you could say, in that, you know, we've needed them, but they've stepped up to the plate remarkably. You know, Junior's debut was actually the EFL trophy game against you guys, and he got an assist in the 3rd minute. He's just young, strong, powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him playing higher up the pyramid in the next 2 years, whether that's with us or someone else. You know, he's a real talent. And Kelly, likewise, he's young, he's raw, he's got pace, he's tricky. Kyrell as well. He's only 16. He's had a couple of involvements in the last couple of games. He's another one. It's just that young rawness. They just want to get the ball. They just want to run, get forward. And I think sometimes teams can get so preoccupied with what position they're going to take up, or formations, or, you know, making sure you keep your defensive line. Sometimes that raw thought is just enough to beat anyone. So they've certainly benefited off that, and there's a lot more to come from them, I feel.
Good stuff. Okay, on to tomorrow then, and then we'll let you go and get your tea. What do you think the score will be? Give us a score prediction.
For
the benefit of the audio listeners, Will is thinking.
Pulling his face.
I've had a few people ask us this. My genuine gut, and it's not doubting my own team, my genuine gut is that you will leave with a very good win.
I hate it when they say that. I mean, it's the opposite.
but then just look at what happened on Tuesday, and I think, you know, there's extra motivation for both sides there, to be honest. You know, there's obviously the chance for you guys to go joint top, but for us, it's that extra little bit. We need to keep getting these on board. So, you know, are we ready? Are we going to step back up? I just can't call it. They've been really tight games, the last few that we've met you.
Yeah.
You know, like you say, back in November, 0-0, we probably loved to come away with a point, but that was sheer desperation. You know, we needed to hang on as we did, and they did. So, you know, there'll be a few who remember that, and, you know, whether the occasion of being on a Thursday and being on Sky just brings a bit of extra out of everybody, we'll see. But right here, right now, I think it'll be a county win, to be honest.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes us nervous. But every guest we have on makes us nervous, to be fair.
So,
So, yeah.
that's the hat trick, 3-0.
Good stuff. Right. Cheers, Will, for coming on. And as ever,
Cheers,
really
Will.
appreciate your time.
Yeah, pleasure for having us, and everyone enjoy tomorrow.
Yeah, we will do. Well, we hope we will. Cheers for that. All right. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers,
Speak to you
Will.
soon.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
So there we go. That was Will. Always great value is Will.
That was good.
I mean, let's stick with the Salford match then. What do you think? I mean, Will said he thinks we're going to come away with a good win. Are you, Jimmy? Are you in the same? Are you in Will's boat?
Yeah, I mean, looking at FootMob myself, they've scored 53, conceded 69. So I'm going to go 3-2 win, high scoring game. And I bet Smith scores 2 against us because he's a horrible player to play against, isn't he? I mean, Fraser struggled in the first leg against him. Last season, he managed to shackle him a little bit in the second leg, I think. I was surprised actually when we played Salford last in the playoffs because Louis Barry, I think he came on.
Yeah, he was a sub.
12 minutes to go or something in the first game. Was he injured? I guess I should have asked Will, but I'm surprised that he didn't feature that much against us in those 2 playoff games. And then we get him and he's like this world beater that's worth 10 million quid. So I don't quite know what went on there, but yeah, 3-2 county win. What about you, Waggy?
I think comfortable win. I think it'll be 3 or 4-1. I think we'll we found the knack of scoring. I think we're going to start putting some of them chances in against Salford, being in front of the cameras, put on a bit of a show, let all the other teams watching us know that we're back to meaning business. So I think we pretty much say it every week on the Courtyard Club call and everything like that, or when we meet in the Courtyard before a game, it's getting that early goal. We get an early goal, we can put one of them chances away that we seem to create quite a few in the first sort of 15, 20 minutes, then that's everybody settled down. And I think then we push on again. But again, if we will obviously talk about Newport, but if it does start getting not scoring the first 25 minutes or 30 minutes and everyone starts getting a bit nervous and stuff like that. So that's what I think. Early goal and it's an easy win.
I think we're a completely different team when we get that early goal. You can just see it in the players. Well, the players, the fans, everybody. It's like, great, we got that goal. They got to come on to us now. We tend to struggle, don't we, when we're trying to force it. Seem to make maybe not the best decisions on the pitch, and passes start going astray. And they're human; they feel the pressure, don't they? But let's get that goal.
Yeah, as you say, them score. As Will said, they seem to have the attitude of we'll score one more than you. So I can't see them sitting back and doing a Newport to try and not concede. I think they'll try and get some goals against us, and I think that will work in our favour. I think we've got the creativity and the people that can find a pass and can get behind them and put them under pressure and get the goals.
I think they need the 3 points as well. I mean, looking at the table, they're 8 points from above Colchester, but they've played 2 games more, so a point isn't really much use to them at home, I don't think. So, you're right. I reckon they'll come on to us.
Yeah, that'll play into our hands, won't it? And we're solid at the back, aren't we, generally? So even, all right, we got beat 4-0 by Tranmere, but even after that, it's sort of like, we said it before last week and the week before, steady the ship at the back, and we were solid. We were solid on Saturday against Newport. Don't remember Newport. I think they had 2 chances, didn't they? All game after our 27 or something ridiculous like that.
They had three chances, 2 on target. Yeah, 3 chances, 2 on target.
Yeah. So early goals, hopefully early goals, settle the nerves. There'll be a good crowd for us. We've sold out, haven't we? Although I have seen the odd ticket going because it's been moved to a Thursday and people now can't make it. The odd spare ticket and that, but should be good. Should be good. But you never know, do you? You never know. Does my head in.
That's why it's called football.
I know. I know. Before we move on to Newport, Jimmy, did we say who your favourite ever player was? I don't think we did.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this, and because I'm old, I've got favourite players from each era, so it's impossible to say who my favourite player is.
All right.
But I'm gonna go Luke Beckett, because whenever he was on the pitch, you knew he was just going to score a goal, and we were a completely different team when he was playing, and he could hit a ball. And I think if there's one criticism of the current, team, we haven't got a Luke Beckett type of player, like a Paul Mullin sort of player that you just know if he gets a chance, he's going to smack it and score. All our forwards are great, but they're just a little bit cuter, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke Beckett, and when he did his knee, it was a cruciate knee ligament injury, wasn't it? He wasn't the same again, but he was brilliant. Loved him.
Yeah, strong choice in Luke Beckett. Something like you say, some of the goals he scored.
Yeah,
reminded me a bit of Ian Moore, or Ian Moore reminded me of him a bit. You know, like explosive, scored out of nothing almost, didn't he? You know, really sort of getting the keeper off guard. So let's talk about scoring goals, and let's talk about Newport on Saturday. 94th minute, I think it was. Was it
93rd, I think it was. I think it was classed as 93rd, but yeah, it was a little late.
Yeah, but I don't think we've had a late winner for a long time. I can't remember a late winner.
No, I did not see us scoring because I just thought we could play. In fact, I said to my daughter, I said we could play another 2 hours and just not score. I just didn't feel like it was going to go. And their keeper, oh my word, he made some good saves. And the little toe rag was time wasting from like minute 2 as well.
Yeah.
Completely winding me up. So he got what he deserved in the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Injury
and I
time
think
winner.
His reaction to the winner as well said it all, didn't it? Because I think you could see he was just like, oh, all that for nothing. It's almost like good.
Yeah, so we've been going back on, like, say, FOTMOB. He got one of the highest ratings that I think we've seen. It was an 8.9 on FOTMOB. Yeah. So yeah, and he was in the team of the week as well, wasn't he? He got in the team of the week. But yeah, he was just from the second minute. Like, I mean, that was the thing, and we said it on the our club call that wound me up, was that he was time wasting from the second minute. You know, taking the ball to the other side for taking a goal kick, and then pretending to bring the players in if he was going to play it short, and then say ushering them away to waste a bit more time so he'd do fit. And then, but the another thing was, as I said, the referee had a word with him after about 10 minutes. So he stopped going to the other side, but he was still doing everything he could to waste time. And the referee never had another word with him or give him a card or anything for it. Which that was...
Yeah, they never do, though, do they? To get away with time wasting.
Well, they do now. But again, beginning of the season, there was yellow cards being flying around all the time, weren't they? Keepers were getting booked quite early on for time wasting and all different things like that, and delaying throw-ins and things. There seemed to be that was the big thing. And, you know, we said, you know, Challoner said as well, the directive was that there needs to be a certain amount of the ball in play. And that's why I was getting all these minutes added on. And then at the end of September, they came back and they'll scrap that. Forget that.
Bizarre.
Matches are too long.
Hearing that,
yeah. If you make a decision that that's what you want, stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, when the 2 minutes went up, I was like, what on earth is going on there?
He was down for more than 2 minutes, wasn't he, their keeper?
I think they had wasn't there a head injury as well in that first half? I made a note of that. Yeah, there's a head injury as well. Just really weird that it was only.
Yeah, but he didn't have the physio never came on for that, did they?
No, he didn't.
He went down holding his head, waited until we got the free kick, held his head, rubbed it for a bit, and then got up and trotted off. I do remember. Yeah, I do remember that. Now you're saying it.
But it is interesting because I've not heard anything in the media, and I'm sort of try and keep up to date with football in general, and I've not heard anything about that directive being like cancelled, which is what obviously Dave said in his post-match. And like booking a keeper as well, you're not going to send him off. It's a waste of time. Unless, of course, he does another bookable offence and then gets sent off. But he ain't going to get sent off for time wasting. So
no, and it was on some sort of punditry. I'm sure it was Rio Ferdinand or somebody saying, on mainstream TV, it should be six. I think it always used to be 6 seconds for the keeper, didn't it?
Yeah.
But they were counting it was up to 11, 12, 13 seconds, and this is keepers, just generally just taking the time. I don't know how they get away with it. They probably do it sometimes without really realizing when the game is at 0-0 and they're not time wasting, but they definitely play on it when they're trying to, time waste and keep.
I think it was during the Manchester derby that I think they had the referee summariser guy, whether it Mike Dean or whoever it was.
That was it. Yes.
And he actually said that the 6 second rule is still in, but no one takes any notice of it. So it is actually in the like the laws of the game still. So I can remember when that first came in, and we used to sort of do like 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4, 5, 6, and then like the keeper would like kick it, wouldn't he, like really quick? But
yeah, because it used to be so many steps with the ball in your hands, didn't it, for a keeper? And then they changed it to as many steps as you want, but 6 seconds.
yeah,
Pretty sure that was it.
yeah.
That was
You
it.
should
Yeah.
know, Russ. You're the goalkeeping coach.
Well, this is it. Yeah, this is it. I should know. You're right.
I think the only thing that the referee might have give him a bit more time and stuff was Wharton was stood at the edge of the penalty area, what every goal or every kick out of his hands, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So you tend to find that the referee allows him a bit more time when that's happening. Because I was like, after a bit, I was like, Wharton, just step away from him, go away from him, because you're not doing anything there, really, are you? And if you actually get in the way. Yeah, if you actually get in the way,
he must have been told to do that because this keeper must like to like drop the ball. So like, if we drop off him, he probably like just drops it and then waits for you to run onto him. So you may as well stop him doing that. I was thinking the same, Waggy, but I thought we must have told him to do that.
Yeah, I did, but I thought he might have just sort of stepped away a little bit, but as you say, I could imagine he would definitely be one of them keepers that would just drop it at his feet and then wait for a player to come to him. Yeah, and then pass it. Yeah.
Well, the thing with distribution as well from a keeper, if it's out of your hands, if you're doing the sidewinder or you're doing the punt up, it's harder to be as accurate as it is than say maybe the ball's on the floor and you're spraying one left and right. And that's notwithstanding playing out from the back as well, because that's obviously an option that a lot of teams do these days. Because you'll notice Hinchliffe likes to play it off the floor, doesn't he? And he's a lot more accurate when he does, rather than out of his hands. So Newport. So the fan guest last week from Newport, can't remember what he said now. Was he semi confident? I think. Obviously just outside the playoffs. So I thought my overriding feeling of the Newport match was that we absolutely restricted them, didn't we? And it's even more testament that they scored 5 last night on Tuesday night in the week.
But I think they came for a point. They came for a point. There was no two ways about that. As you say, there were absolutely nothing going forward. And it was just a case of, as you say, the longer it went on, the more it got frustrating, and the more we thought it wasn't going to score. And then Paddy got the penalty, and I don't know if it's because he missed it, but I just don't think he looked confident taking the kick. He seemed to change his normal run up. He did, they all seem to do this little stutter, don't they? I watched the Arsenal Porto penalties last night, and they do that little stutter, don't they, before they set off. And Paddy seemed to do that, and I've not noticed him do that before. So I just don't think. But again, the keeper goes the other way. It's a brilliant penalty because it goes in. The keeper's guessed the right way and saved it. And it's just when that happened, it was just like, they're going to beat us 1-0. They're going to come up this end, just get a corner or a stupid free kick. It's going to go into the box and they're going to score, and it's going to finish 1-0.
But it's a measure of the man, isn't it? That he's an old pro now, isn't he? So didn't give up. Waited for his next chance. He said it on his post-match as well, didn't he? You wait for your next chance. A good striker does that, and then he finished it. A really good finish to win the match in the 93rd.
I wouldn't have wanted anybody else with that chance, because I try and get into the ground like half an hour early and stand behind the goal watching the shooting practice.
With your arms crossed, looking really stern. With your arms crossed, like claw.
Like shaking my head when they miss. That's rubbish. But but the safest place to be is right behind the goal. If you're like sat a little bit higher up, you tend to get smacked in the face, which is quite funny as well. But Paddy, every single week, he is the best finisher without doubt. So they've got Tanto, Woods, Bailey. Powell never joins in with that, interestingly. Maybe it's because he's been playing defensive mid recently. But Paddy's always the one finds the corners. When they do the volleying practice, he tends to be the one that doesn't smack it over. He tends to get it on target. So, I was pleased it fell to him. I can imagine if it fallen to anybody else, it would have gone high and wide.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think Sam Byrne mentioned it on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it now. Shades of Solihull a couple of years ago when we managed to scrape a 1-0 win in the rail. I think it was in the Railway End, wasn't it? And the sort of someone mentioned a mole or something that crept into the corner. Look, if that could turn out to be a really important 3 points for us, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think he did it as well for the Torquay game, wasn't it? Just before the end of the National League, the midweek one.
Yeah. Well, he popped up with the winner, didn't he?
Yeah. Popped up, yeah.
Yeah.
What did we think of the inverted wingers that he decided to play? Did we like it? Because like he had, what was it, Hippolyte on the right side and Lemon Evans on the left. Don't think we've really seen that before. He tends to be more traditional, doesn't he, with his left foot and right foot on the right.
I get he must have seen something, mustn't he, from Newport for him to do that. But I think it seemed to be working. But then I think I'd have liked them to swap over for just say 5 or 10 minutes. I think me and Dan said it when we did the Courtyard Club call. You know, just to swap over, just so that we've got, because you say Hippo is very left-footed, so he was always wanting to come in on his left-hand side, cut inside. Whereas you say swap him over, then you've got that one person that's going to actually go to the line, going to prefer to go to the line and then get a crossing. So maybe that was the, you know, I'd like to have seen it, but again, obviously DC's DC, isn't it? If he sees a weakness or he sees something that's going to work, then he'll change people around and put them where he thinks they're going to be best.
I think if you do go and play that, I think you need your fullbacks to get up the pitch and overlap to provide the crosses. And I think that's probably where we failed in that game. We didn't get Cass and who's a new guy? Bristow. Bristow up enough. So.
Yeah, I'm sure there's definitely but based on what happened on Saturday, there's definitely a Bristow, Madden, and Gravy pun somewhere in there, isn't there? You know, like
that Gravy was so funny.
Like different gravy, and I'm reliably informed that it's beaver. It was a beaver, actually, not a mole. Yeah, I don't know why a beaver would. Beavers don't live underground, though, do they? And then pop up. I don't think, unless I'm getting that wrong. Beavers, a mole would do that, wouldn't it? So anyway, Anyway, Clive Parkin, friend of the show, comes on as the opposition fan guest for Mansfield podcast. It was a great night for us last night. Cheers, Clive. I put a tweet out last night saying it would be a great night. It'd be a great night if we win tomorrow night. But other people have said, well, it was a great night regardless because of the results. 2 losses and a draw for MK, Mansfield, and Wrexham. Yeah,
it was a good set of results, but as you say, we've got to back it up now by beating Salford, because if we get beat by Salford, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference, does it?
No, it's as you were, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as you were. You say probably Crew are the only ones that had gained from it, but as you say, it's now back in our hands. If we win our 2 games in hand, then we go 3 points clear. So. It's the business end of the season, isn't it? I'm sure there'll be. I'm not sure if anybody wants to actually win this league or not. I think everybody's trying to finish runner up. Well, you can see most people get the chances that everybody's had. I know we were top for 3.5 months or whatever, and there's a few times where we'd got beaten. You'd be like, oh, that's it. We're off the top now. And then you look at the results and like say Mansfield or Wrexham or Notts when they were up there, they just nobody seemed to want to take the initiative or be clinical with it. And again, it seems the same way, doesn't it? I think I'd had them all for winning. Looking at the fixtures and who they were playing and stuff, I don't think there was any of them that I particularly thought was a difficult game, considering they were top of the table teams. But it was a great day for us, a great night for us, but we need to back it up now with beating Salford tomorrow night.
It's amazing that even down to 17th, they're sort of still in with a chance of the playoffs. They're only 10 points. That's Notts County, believe it or not. Don't know how the heck they have dropped so much. But 47 points. Wimbledon in 7th on 57. It's a crazy division, and it just
Yeah.
means that playing anybody outside the bottom sort of 5, well, everyone's got something to play for actually, because to be fair, the bottom 5 could get sucked into relegation. So
yeah.
everyone's
But you see, as Will was saying, they've started picking up some points, haven't they? Forest Green and Sutton have started picking up some points here and there. So again, top end, bottom end, it's nowhere near, finished, is it? There's still lots of twists and turns. I think it is probably the strangest league that we've been in for a while, if you know what I mean. That there's still 10 games to go and there's still basically nothing decided, is there? There's not like you can say the top 10 teams are in for a shout at the playoffs. It's, as you say, all the way down to 17th. And then everybody from there, you've probably got from 15 or whatever that probably could get dragged into relegation.
Yeah.
So it's just been a strange season so far. But hopefully we've had our blip, we've had our little lost a couple of games, drawn a couple of games. Now hopefully we can start winning again and get some points on the board and take the initiative.
Yes, that would be nice to take the initiative. Shall we move on? We've got plenty to talk about still, and we're 45 minutes in, which is how it goes on this show. So new signings, then we'll just make a mention for them. Todd Kane brought in as right back. I think he could probably play more than that. And then Ben Knight from City, who's a forward. Nice surprise. That was my sort of takeaway from that. A nice little surprise that we can bolster at this key stage of the season. Nobody else, I don't think, has bolstered around us. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of these players before, or got any insight on them.
I've had a quick look on Wikipedia. Ben Knight looks like he's in the similar mould to Louis Barry. He's 5'7", 21 years old. He's come through the Man City Academy for 3 years. No, 6 years. 2018. He's been in the City Academy. A friend of mine, actually a City fan, actually sent me the message, sort of saying, "Oh, you've signed this guy." I think he made one appearance in the Charity Shield for them, so he's coming off the bench. So see what he's like. A bit of experience, England under 17s, England under 18s as well. But he might be injury prone, but we'll see how we get on with him. And the other guy, he's been around the Championship pretty much all his career. Started off at Chelsea, he's been at Preston, Blackburn, Bristol City, Forest, Nijmegen, Groningen.
Oh, yeah.
So and he seems to have played a decent number of games as well.
Does he play for QPR as well? I see that mentioned. Yeah.
QPR, Charlton, Coventry.
Yeah.
So
he played for Coventry last year. He was at Coventry last year, and then he got released, and then he's been playing in Gibraltar, hasn't he, for 2 or 3 months? He got released in January. So, but he looks like he's a decent player. He's been been around, come through Chelsea's academy and stuff. So, as you say, I think we needed a bit more on that right hand side, didn't we, with the injuries that we've got? So I think 30 years old, good experienced player. Yeah. So hopefully, he can come in and play a few games for us. That gives us another option on the right hand side.
Is he? I mean, I'm probably being disparaging here, but he's 30 years old. He's not going to be fast like Macca, is he? Is he going to be another Cascat type player, bit of a unit kind of thing, sort of right-sided defense? Playing when we play, is he more of a central defense, right-sided central defender? I guess is what I'm getting at.
I think it's said that he's a right back, but I think he can play on the left hand as a left back as well, even though he is right-footed.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's what I'm told. But according to the transfer market, he is basically a right back, should I say?
I think Macca's irreplaceable. I mean, I think he's still our leading assister for the season. He's got 7 assists, I think. Yeah. And he's hardly played any games. Our game, the whole team dynamic is completely different when he's not in the side. Unfortunately, even Noyle doesn't have the same sort of skill set that Macca had, and we'll have to see what happens with the contract, I guess, at the end of the year, because I think he's out of contract, isn't he? Macca, I think. So I hope we give him another one,
Yeah.
give him at least another year. But he's getting on, isn't he? Now I guess he's 27, 28. So and he's injury
Getting
prone,
on.
but I love him. I think he's brilliant, unbelievable player.
Getting on.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
He's stepped up this season, hasn't he? I think last season, I don't think with Noel coming in and the way that Noel hit the ground running and stuff, it was like can't see a way back for South Wales. But then he come back
just
this
came
season.
in and he just
he was absolutely electric. As I say, just unfortunate with his injuries. Really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. And just as it goes, just to point this out, Maka is our highest FOP mob ratinged player this season.
Okay.
Will Collar is second, both out injured. So we do miss them. And we do look, just to put a point onto Will Collar, we look a completely better team, I think, when he's in the side, Will Collar.
He
So
just
much more
knits the whole midfield together. I mean, Sars is brilliant, but he's a bit more of a player that sort of, I don't know, tries to play the more risky pass, I think, the more progressive pass. Will tends to break the lines with his runs, arrives in the box a little bit late, scores goals. You're right, we do miss him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move on to the Edley Park developments. Before we do, just a couple of things to say. All of the 3 Salford tickets that we had as competitions have all been won now, and those have been handed over. So well done to those guys. Martin says thanks for his ticket. You're welcome, mate. Enjoy. Bring back 3 points, won't you? That's all I ask. So there's that. And then just to mention as well, just to remind everybody, the co-op have got a Jim Gannon event coming soon. So keep an eye out on social media for that. It'll be a Jim Gannon event. Obviously, Jim Gannon is guest in the spinning top on the A6 in Stockport. So details will be announced. Patrons of this show will get a discount on the ticket, as will co-op members as well. So if you're either one of those, then look out for that. And I guess that'll be a really popular event, and tickets will be sought after. So Edley Park developments. Then I mean, I think an MP for Stockport mistakenly published it last night. So a few people got hold of that, including myself, on the podcast account. Apologies to the club for spreading the spread. I think they've gone early with it. I think maybe earlier than they anticipated, but it's out now. What do you think of what do you guys think of the developments?
I've not seen them.
The little 1 minute video looks really good.
Is it?
Really good, yeah.
Was that released today then, was it?
Yes. It was only, a couple of hours ago. It wasn't 2-3 hours ago. But I did see the pictures. The pictures did appear. And then I think it was yesterday morning, was it? Or lunchtime-ish that it got released. And then it got took off quickly. But people had already screen grabbed and sent some pictures, put some pictures out. But it looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So we did a podcast. With the co-op a couple of weeks ago. So that's out to listen to now for everybody. That was with Ed Chadwick, and we cover the asset of community value and why that exists and how that needs to exist going forward, and also the lease and the situation around that. And we did say on there, Ed did say that the club were saying that something will come out very soon about the developments, and there will be a consultation period, which they delivered on that as well. So get listening to that podcast. That's available now on Spotify and iTunes and all everywhere where you can get our podcast. But it does look really good. I noticed people either jokingly or having a bit of a dig saying, well, the floodlights look shit. I feel Phil Lloyd's mentioned that. Where's the parking? Someone's put, I hope there's a second, I think it was our Dan actually. I hope there's a second scoreboard, because if you're in the Barlow stand or the pop side, whatever you want to call it, you can't see, based on the artist's impression, you can't see it. But, there's little things like this. I remember when the Cheadle stand got done at the back, with the big new sign and all the cladding got done, there was a light that wasn't aligned properly with the rest of the light. People complained about that. So, I'm sure the artist impression is just that. I mean, I think the key points are
it's better than being drawn by an 8-year-old like we saw last time.
Yeah.
That was Penno.
I quite like that.
I know Penno did do one, I think.
Yeah, I mean the stands look quite basic, to be fair. Can't see any corporate stuff.
Oh no. Well, you need to read it. So let's not
okay.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. So yeah, the railway end will have a roof on it. It'll go up to, I think they said 4,500 in the railway end.
Yeah.
So that's a particular a stage of this. The pop side will be completely redone, and it will have hospitality and boxes in it throughout, and then facilities at the back. And the Danny Bergara stand will be extended in different phases each side, so it does straddle the full length of the pitch, and that'll add another 1,200 seats in 2 blocks of 600 at either side. So that'll bring our total up to 18,000. Sorry, get me numbers, please.
Yeah, I think the new railway end will be the family stand only, because they're going to have the family area at the back of that.
Right.
That was part of the statement as well. So.
Yeah, I think 18,000 is a good number as well. Any
not
more
too
than
much.
That,
yeah. It feels like it is. It feels like it's in line with what you would expect if we had potential growth, doesn't it? You know, when I think the first numbers that were mooted were 20 and 21, 22,000. That felt to me like it was too much, but 18 does.
I think that 22 was including the corners, wasn't it? Originally they were talking about filling the corners in Monday, and he did say it. The co-op guy said it on the podcast, and he said that the price goes up by 4 or 5 times to put corner seating in rather than just standard seating. That's why they've kept it as 4 separate stands.
I think it looks better anyway. I love a stadium with 4 separate stands. As soon as you start putting those corners in, it just seems to lose something. Me.
Yeah, I've seen that same comment online today as well, that to keep the 4 separate stands, it has some sort of it looks aesthetically better, which I can kind of go with, to be honest. We are looking for outside investment for this as well, so or the club is, I say. But there is a YouTube video worth
investment for the podcast.
I thought you were paying for it then, Russ, and you needed some extra help.
There is a YouTube video worth watching as well on the how stands are funded and how much they cost these days, because it isn't like the old days where it's literally concrete and metal. There's a lot more that goes into it, and not least inflation.
Who does that podcast? Well,
it's not a podcast. It's TIFO. I'll dig it out and I'll put it into the comments. It's really worth watching.
I think I watched it when you first mentioned it a while ago, but I'm going to watch it again, just to have another look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it all looks good.
It's going to cost, guys?
They didn't say any cost, but they did say the phases of how they're going to do it. So they're going to put an extra 600 seats on the main stand towards the railway end first. Then the railway end will get developed. Then they'll do the pop side, and then they'll put another 600 seats on the main stand at the Cheadle end.
Yeah.
So I think they said it's dependent on obviously the growth of the club, where we sit in the league and things like that. But I think they did say that the main stand will start early 2025. That was in the statement. So hopefully, we'll start seeing, and hopefully that shouldn't impact the ground too much. Should it just adding 600 seats on? I think they said they're going to replace the roof as well, didn't they, on the main stand? And they said that was part of the plan.
I guess the beauty of redeveloping those two is that you're only going to lose around 12.50 each time the stand is being done. So when they do the railway, obviously we can't put anyone in there. That holds 1,500, I think it is, the railway end. So you're not losing a massive amount of the stadium each time either.
Yeah.
And if they're putting 600 on the end of the Danny Bergara, at least that's bumping that back up as well. So should be good.
Happy Hatter says, where will the away fans be? Do we know? I don't think we do know yet. Getting reses. Yeah, I did joke with a Wrexham fan online today that probably right next to the scoreboard, so bring your sunglasses and migraine medication with you. Wasn't that glaring next to the scoreboard? That'd be. I honestly don't know, because in my lifetime, away fans have been in the main stand, they've been in the railway end, Cheadle end as well. When I first started going.
I know when we first went going, it used to be the railway end, and then they had, because I think we've said it before, they have to have so many covered seats, don't they? And there used to be a little bit in the main stand, didn't they?
In the main stand, yeah.
In the main stand they used to do, and then they seemed to move them to just be in the railway end, and obviously probably more like the non-league side, so doesn't really matter. And then they tended to put them in the pop side. But I know there was a few times. When was it in championships? I think Leeds and like Chef Wednesday, they had the pop side and the railway end, didn't they? I know there was a few games when that caused issues, because there was a few of them that jumped over and tried getting in the Cheadle end. I remember, I think that was Chef Wednesday, many moons ago. But
yeah,
I think what they'll probably do is have some sort of sectional thing whereby they can sort of, I don't know, at Crewe they had lots of gates, didn't they, which meant that they could funnel certain fans a certain way, and if you've got a big away following, they can probably close or open gates to allow them into different parts of the stand. So probably something like that, I'd have thought.
Yeah, I think where they sort of have them now in the pop side, in the together stand, I think that pretty much we can do them there, because it especially, and you can't really just say, it looks like it's all just sort of one level, doesn't it? The together stand, but other impression, they did say they're obviously going to have the corporate, so whether it's going to be a split level, so then you can control it again, can't you? You can say, if there's not many away fans, then we just give them one section in the bottom half, or if there's a load of them, then we can give them two sections, that type of stuff. But
did you guys go to Villa Park when we played them in the FA Cup back in?
No, I didn't go. No.
Okay, well, we away fans. We were in the lower tier with the Villa fans like above us.
Yeah.
And we just they were chucking stuff on us, like beer and all sorts of stuff. It was awful.
Stoke. I remember that at Stoke. We used to get the tier below the fans and used to get pelted with coins and everything.
Yeah,
bastards. But just going back to the pop side, they'll want to keep him at that end, I would have thought. Excuse me, because for egress and getting him to the train station as quickly as possible down that little avenue. So
that corner definitely.
Yeah, get them all there.
The corner where Ken says, instead of saying, "Please leave your seat the way that you came in," he said, "Bless him."
Yeah, like Ben said on the a few weeks ago now. He's kind of ruining his legacy just with this one statement that he's got to say.
He's got to say, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. Shall we move on to getting reses? Because time's getting on. Time is getting on. Before we do getting reses, pods that are coming up, we've got the Courtyard Club call. We've got that on this Friday after the Salford games. We've got a special additional episodes that'll go out to patrons as soon as we can get it out. And then everybody else, so you can listen to that over the weekend, because we haven't got a match on Saturday. And then we'll be back sometime next week, probably with another Courtyard Club call for the Crawley match, which takes place on Monday. So, modern football, that's modern football for you, everybody. The Mental episode with Matt Baxter is out, so have a listen to that. And I've got another one recorded and ready to go out with Andy Nevitt. So that's our collaboration with Mental, our charity partner for 2024. Steve Massey, didn't manage to record with him, but I'm going to do that at some point, late March, mid-April, probably. And then we've got loads more planned as well. So keep on looking out for extra podcasts and join our Patreon, £3 a month. You get all this ad-free and in your inbox as soon as we record it, as soon as we've got it online. You don't have to wait a few days for that. Good stuff. Shall we do getting reses?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Reses. Get in the reses. Get in the reses.
I'm not having that.
Get in the reses.
Oh, getting reses.
There we go. Getting reses. Who wants to go first?
I'll go last.
Okay. Jimmy, you said you had one. Do you want to go first?
So my getting reses is when a referee stops a corner from being taken because there's some handbags in the penalty box, like defender pushing an attacker or something. He goes over, makes this massive statement of "Stop doing that, boy! Stop doing it." He walks away, and they carry on doing it. And he doesn't do anything about it, does he? What is the point? Just wastes like 30 seconds, breaks up the momentum if it's us attacking. Don't like it.
Yeah, they've stopped doing that, haven't they? But every time that he does that, I do physically sit there and I just go, it's going to be a free kick to them.
Yeah. Or that's what happens. Yeah,
it used to always be a free kick to them. And then once he went over and pointed at a couple of players and say, had a word with them, it's like it's going to be a free kick no matter what. And now they just seem to, they just stop giving free kicks. They just have a word for nothing, and then it just carries on. So that could definitely get the reses. We could have that.
And then when you take the corner, if he doesn't blow up for a free kick, you've got like I think it's a 1 in 50 statistical chance of scoring from a corner.
Yeah.
And as fans, we all get so excited. Yeah, we got a corner, brilliant. And I'm thinking, right, 1 in 50, we're going to score. Let's see what happens here. Oh, we don't score.
Do you think that's why teams play for short corners? Because you're taking it away from the corner just across going in where everybody's in the box to trying to work. You're just basically working it from the right-hand side then, aren't you? Yeah,
I mean, it always amazes me why we don't have more of a set play sort of, I don't know, obvious move or something. It just seems to be pile everybody in the box. Someone will make a near post run, a couple will make a back post run, and you sort of hope for the best. I can't remember who we played. We played someone earlier this season. They did something really weird from corners. I was thinking that looks really good. I quite like that. I can't remember what it was. They were sort of splitting it in a strange way. But I always think you're guaranteed to get corners in a game, so you can sort of practice for that. I don't know how much effort like the coaching team put into that, but it looks like we don't put any in for me. But there we go.
Yeah, I think you need a proper set piece coach for things like that, don't you? As you say, you look at City's goal against Liverpool.
That was a good goal,
that was good. And you've seen Pep turn around to the set piece coach and give him a little clap. I mean, again, it takes someone like Kevin De Bruyne to pull that off. I don't think Sars or Bailey is going to pull that off as well, to be honest. But
to be fair, that's probably the reason, isn't it? Because we're not good enough at sticking it on a sixpence. You probably think, well, it's going to go 3 meter in like a 3 meter area when it comes in, so there's probably no point in actually preparing for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good one. Getting the residents, and we've never had that before, so that's. We're getting into repeat territory, you see. Like three or four every week. I'll go next.
Yeah, go on then.
I'm gonna have to thank Will for this, who's still sat in the background, by the way, listening intently. Getting the reses for me, very topical. Thursday night football.
Yeah,
that can get in the reses. Absolutely, it can.
Is it the worst night for a game of football?
Is it the worst night? Well, apart from a Sunday night, it's not good, is it? I don't think
I've
ever played
it
Sunday night.
I think Monday night is the worst, and we've got a Monday night game in like
that's true,
4 days time, haven't we? So Thursday and Monday.
Thursday and
next week's getting the reses.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday night football getting reses. And here's one for you. I mean, someone's going to come in dead quick with the answer. I don't know the answer. Have we ever played a professional league game or cup game on a Thursday night?
Yes.
Have we?
Yeah, because one of the Dave Smith Never Existed, they did games on every day of the week. I listened to it the other week. So there is, you'll have to listen to that one, because there is definitely games that we've played on a Thursday night. There's only, I think it's only like a handful. I don't think there's very many, is it? No, there's not many. But there is games we played. Did we play Staines in the FA Cup replay on a Thursday night?
Was that Thursday night?
It might have been. I've got a feeling that, because I remember I was in Rotterdam working, and I managed to get into an Irish bar There we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stay. That was
Managed
Thursday.
to get into an Irish bar with a couple of the lads and managed to get them to put the game on, thinking that we were going to romp it, and we got beat 2-1. They had to go to another pub. Yeah. I left and went to another pub.
But it's funny. I always thought a Thursday night. I can imagine us playing. I don't know, the Royal Engineers in 1904. That would probably be on a Thursday night, wouldn't it? But not in the modern era. Thursday night is almost unheard of, isn't it? But you're right, Monday night as well, that can get in the reses as well, can't it? Especially away to Crawley. I mean, if you're going to Crawley away on Monday night, bravo to you. Yeah, honestly, you deserve a Wrexham ticket away just for that, I think. Absolutely do.
Yeah.
It's the journey back, isn't it? You're not getting home till probably 3 a.m. And they put this is something else that can get in the reses: nighttime roadworks for football fans coming back from games. Because you think, great, I'm driving at night, it'll be fine, and like all the motorways are down to one lane, so it just takes ages.
Oh, don't!
You've been
You'll
listening
trigger
to me.
Waggy and his
You've been listening to me.
Yes, that can get in the reses. Cheers, Will, for that. Side in the background. Waggy, have you got one yet?
I've got one. It's not necessarily football related. It's sport related. So don't just everybody calm down. It's not the M62. Basically, it's commentators like boxing commentators. The Joshua match, and Joshua absolutely sparked the guy out. And then the commentators come on and go, "Oh, nobody wants to see that nobody wants to see that in a boxing match." I'm like, "Yeah, you do. That's exactly why we're watching it. We're watching somebody get knocked out. Oh, apologies, we don't want to see anybody get. Don't want to see that. We want to make sure he's all right. Well, yeah, I don't want him to be dead, but he's just been caught cleanly and been put on his arse. He's got back up and he's just walked straight into another thunderbolt. So you find it like." As well, commentators at the football, if they hear the crowd shouting "F off" or something like that, or apologies for the language. Apologies for the language. Why? You're at a football match. You know what I mean? You're going to pick up noises, or it's even when you see them lip reading and they go, "Oh, fuck off, ref," and they go, "Oh, apologise if you're seeing anything like might upset you." Oh, come on, it's the modern day world. Everything's going to upset you.
It would have been quality if the gravy incident had happened when the game was live on Sky. Can you imagine the commentators saying that? What are they singing that for? Oh, yes, someone's dropped some gravy. That would have been brilliant.
That'd have been such a Northern England Division 4 thing to happen, wouldn't it? It could be alive on the telly.
Yeah. And in fairness, during that incident, it came at such a boring point of the game as well. I was just watching the guy mopping it up as well. That was funny. And getting sacked in the morning. Brilliant.
It was just before the penalty because the guy, we got the penalty and everybody cheered. And the guy sort of almost took a bow thinking that everybody was still cheering.
Yeah. I actually missed the tackle for the penalty because I was too busy watching the guy mopping up the gravy.
Yeah. I don't know how true it was, but I think I've seen message exchanged, screen grabs and what have you, saying he did get sacked in the morning. And I think
he was joking. Yeah. Right. It wasn't even him that dropped it. It was a girl who was pushing the trolley. And then he came along to try and tidy it up.
Clean it up.
Yeah, fair dues. It was a good bit of banter, wasn't it? Love the bants.
I wonder what they spill if it was at Forest Green. I wonder what they have as their gravy. They must have some vegan version.
No, it's down south. They don't have gravy. They don't know what it is.
It'll be bean juice, won't it?
Yeah.
Good job of eating.
I'm actually going to the Forest Green game, so we'll see what sort of food they've got there.
Nice. It's supposed to be pretty good, isn't it, by all accounts? It's supposed to be pretty good. Cool. Right. Before we finish up, Jimmy, tell us a bit about you. How did you start going county? Why the hell do you support county and not Man City or United? There we go. Start with that.
So I was a United fan when I was a little nipper. I've got photos of me wearing a probably a 1987 United top. So I'd have been about 9. I then went to school in Stockport and got some more mates. And one of them was an Alty fan. So I used to go and watch Alty, and then the other one was a county fan. He said, "Oh, why don't you come along to county?" So yeah, early 90s. That was basically me until 2009 when my daughter was born. Another thing sort of took over. I sort of timed it quite well with the lowest sort of period in our history. I sort of stopped going regularly. I must have gone like 2 or 3 times a season for about 5 or 6 years, and then I sort of got back into it again. And but yeah, so that's sort of how I got into county. And I hate Man City with a passion, seeing as I used to be a United fan as well. So
yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Because county fans, I don't know many that hate both equally. You either hate one massively, or you hate the other massively, don't you?
But I also don't like the fact that there's so many City fans that live in Stockport, and they should be county fans. I don't think there are as many United fans that live in Stockport. You tend to be near blue if you come from, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Well, where I grew up, it was just full of reds. We used to say it's, you know, they're like rats. You're never more than 6 foot away from one. United fans. But it's funny that you mentioned that, actually, because I went to the Armoury on Sunday for Mother's Day for my wife for some spot of lunch, which is brilliant, by the way. If you've not tried the Armoury on a Sunday, get yourself there, because it's brilliant for a tenner, and it's like proper good Sunday roasts. City were about to play, you know, because it was the Liverpool match, I think, wasn't it, on Sunday?
Yeah.
Some City fans trotted in, City gear on, to sit themselves down to watch the match, and I thought, how dare you? This is a Stockport County establishment, actually. I mean, what? I don't know. I don't get why you would do that. Why you would do that? But then, you know, I don't get a lot of things, so it wound me up.
It's better than coming to a county game wearing a City top.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Which I know Nick always used to. That used to rile him, didn't it? Like fans turning up in.
I think it riles everybody, doesn't it? It's the respect. As you say, I wouldn't expect if I was to go and watch City, which is not going to happen. But if I wouldn't go there in a county top. I wouldn't go to United in the county top. I wouldn't go Liverpool in the county top. So, as you say, it's just the respect that the team that you're watching just don't wear colours unless you're wearing the team's colours.
Yeah.
It's just the respect thing.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. Martin Ellen says, Reds no longer as vocal as they once were. Now City keep on going on and on. It's a good point, because when I was growing up, and I make no apology, and I always say it, I hate United because of what happened, you know, because of just all this not arrogant, just better nonsense and the expectation and all that kind of thing. But now my son's growing up and City are good. He's getting all of that from the City fans. So he absolutely hates City, and I absolutely hate United in our household. So it's weird, weird dynamic, really. Who does your daughter hate, Jimmy?
City.
Oh, just City? Oh, she hates City as well. Okay, fair
enough. City. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I
brought her up well.
Well, yeah, you are. Kudos. Who does your nephew hate, Waggy? Does he hate?
He hates City. He's still sort of. He was a United supporter before he started coming to county. I'd probably say he's a county supporter first, but he still support United. But we're slowly like draining that out of him.
Yeah, fair dues. There's a lot in there. I know people supported different clubs before they started supporting county. I don't think there's many that can say that they've supported county. There's probably quite a few, actually, you know, just throughout and never supported a big club first, because you get sort of dragged in a bit, don't you? And then you realise that actually there's a club on my doorstep and I can go and watch it.
And you can go watch it. Yeah,
and when you get there,
yeah.
I mean, live football, you just cannot beat it. And I keep on trying, like, if I can't go to a game, keep on trying to offer my season tickets around like work and stuff. And I've got like Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City fans. I can't go to the MK Dons game, actually. So a couple of one's a Stevenage fan and one's an Arsenal fan, and they're going to take my seats and watch the game. So,
do you have like a little written contract that says "Do not wear colours"?
They won't wear colours, trust me. Yeah, that's what it's done.
Try the gravy from Stevenage and Arsenal.
The brown liquid. It's not what you think it is. Actually edible.
Yeah. He's been up north a few years, so we'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. That's good then, because I mean, yeah, at least the seats are getting filled, and yeah, as long as they're, yeah, that's good. As long as they're respectful, and you never know, they might even come with you at some point when they have to pay. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like it. Good stuff. Right. It's been a bit of a longer show than normal, but all been good. Cheers to everybody for tuning in. Cheers to everybody for listening. If you're listening on our audio podcast, please do rate and review us and like and share and subscribe and all those good things. That would be really, really useful. Yeah, good stuff. Is anybody going to the match tomorrow? Jimmy, Waggy?
Nope.
No TV for me.
Yeah, same for me. I wasn't going originally because I was away with work, which I've been away, and I wasn't planning on being back yesterday night. But then they moved it after all the tickets had gone. What a nightmare that is.
Yep.
No. Anyway, that's my misery. Right, cheers for coming on, Jimmy. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers, Jimmy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. And Waggy, I'll see you on the Courtyard Club call.
You certainly will. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone. Let's take care. Bye now.
This episode of the Scarf Bagara War was written, recorded and produced by Russ Johnson and Nick Lee. The music on the opening titles was produced by Dan Johnson. Subscribe wherever you get your content, as well as finding out how to join the TSBW fan club. Check out the links in the description or go to allthews scarfbagarawar.co.uk.